I've been speaking to a fair few people about Melissa McCarthy's new film, Can You Ever Forgive Me? And a lot of people have said to me, oh, I can't imagine Melissa McCarthy being an Oscar-nominated actress. I've had to explain to like 5 different people that she has been nominated for an Oscar once before for Best Supporting Actress in Bridesmaids. And people have been like, really? That's how much people misunderestimate Melissa McCarthy's talent. Hey up guys! So today's film up for discussion is yet another film from the London Film Festival, and that is the new dramedy from Marielle Heller, and it's called Can You Ever Forgive Me? I was really excited for this film. Not too many people are familiar with Heller's work, but she directed Diary of a Teenage Girl, which I thought was a bit of an underrated comedy. And also there was a little bit of early Oscar buzz for Melissa McCarthy and Richard E. Grant in Can You Ever Forgive Me? So yeah, this was definitely one of my more anticipated films in the London Film Festival lineup. Can You Ever Forgive Me tells the story of real-life writer Lee Israel, who's played in this film by Melissa McCarthy. She is a recluse, antisocial, 51-year-old bitter woman who prefers the company of her own cat to actual people. The film takes place in 1991 New York, and Lee's celebrity biographies aren't selling like they used to, so she's struggling a bit financially. One day while she's doing some research on Fanny Brice, she discovers some literary letters that were written by Fanny herself. She sells them and then discovers a new way that she can make some quick cash. By embellishing the letters with some saucy anecdotes, they are worth a few $100s to collectors, so she becomes a full-time literary forger, along with the help of a fabulous drinking buddy Jack, who helps her sell them. And Jack is played marvellously by Richard E. Grant, but it isn't too long before the collectors notice the forgeries and get the FBI involved and try to bring Lee down. So, did I enjoy Can You Ever Forgive Me? Well, I went into this film thinking I was gonna enjoy it, but when I came out of it, it definitely surpassed my expectations. I'm already seeing Can You Ever Forgive Me as this year's I, Tonya. That was another film that pleasantly surpassed my expectations. And like I, Tonya, this film shares a few similarities. They're both set in the 90s around a female character who makes some questionable choices. They're both comedic dramas with excellent pacing and have a similar tone. They both contain performances that will most likely get Academy Awards nominations, but like I, Tonya, Can You Ever Forgive Me, even though it's a thoroughly entertaining film, will probably fail to get a nomination for Best Picture and Best Director, even though I think it's worthy of getting nominated for both. Who knows, I could be wrong, and I would like to be proven wrong, but my gut tells me that this film isn't gritty enough or historical enough to be seen as a Best Picture contender. And I would like to see Marielle Heller do a Greta Gerwig and get a surprise nomination, but I'm not sure. I think it's a tough selection of directors this year, and I don't know if this will make the cut. We'll just have to wait and see. It's looking very likely that both Melissa McCarthy and Richard E. Grant will be looking at some nominations for the performances here. Like I said before, Melissa McCarthy has been nominated once before for playing Megan in Bridesmaids, and that role shot her to superstardom, but it also backfired on her slightly because she did end up becoming typecast as the chubby, funny girl. And kudos to her that she's found her groove as an actress and knows how to please audiences. But one thing that the Academy loves is when a typically comedic actor or actress delivers an unexpectedly restrained, dramatic performance. And Melissa McCarthy is criminally good in this film. Pun very much intended. She's still funny, but this is the first character that I've seen her play in years where she actually feels like a real person. I guess that's because she is portraying a real person. But this isn't one of those Melissa McCarthy wardrobe characters that she can just take off the rack, put on, and then, take off at the end of the day. This is actually a character that she really feels like she's immersed herself into. Lee Israel was a curmudgeon, and McCarthy conveys the surly, introverted writer with aplomb. Definitely her best role to date, because of how much it demonstrates her range as an actress. And it's so nice to see Richard E. Grant in a role like this again. He kind of faded into obscurity the last few years. I hadn't seen him in a film in ages. And it's just wonderful to see him play the renegade Jack. He's a garish character who's been around the block, but he lights up the room with his jovial energy. And what's wonderful though is how Grant and McCarthy both bring out so much in each other's performances. One scene in particular is especially hard to watch. I don't want to spoil it for you, but it did make me cry. You'll know it when it happens. But it's the scene that follows afterwards, which is just as sad and heartbreaking because it's related to the title, Can You Ever Forgive Me? And one of the characters is begging the other character for forgiveness, and it's just a masterful display of acting from both Grant and McCarthy. It's one of the best on-screen pairings of the year. Not because their characters are romantically entwined, actually quite the opposite, because both their characters are gay. And that's another thing. Both the lead characters in this are gay, and I think it's fantastically handled because this is a mainstream film where its two leading characters are both gay, but their sexualities are neither the focal point of the narrative, nor are they an anecdote. They are a part of the story, but it's not the only part, which I think is brilliant because there's more to a person's story than just their sexuality. But yeah, getting back to the original point, they're a great on-screen pairing, not because of romantic chemistry, but because of what they bring out in each other as characters. They're two lonely souls in a lonely city. I love watching them make prank phone calls or drinking together or even when they're disappointed in each other, because you get such a human experience watching them work as a dynamic. Right, so let's ask those three questions. Would I watch this again? Yes, this film is very rewatchable. It straddles the line of comedy and drama very well. I laughed and I cried, the performances are delightful, and Heller's direction is on point. It never dips in pacing. She always keeps you engaged. Even in the end credits, I was giggling. So yeah, stay for the end credits, guys. And yeah, I would say I would definitely watch this again. Would I recommend it for you guys? Of course, Can You Ever Forgive Me is a breezy film that's also down to earth, but is also very funny. I think most people would enjoy this film. I would definitely recommend it to a family member or friend. And what score do I give it out of 10? This film definitely surpassed my expectations. It's not a flawless film, but it is a very good film. So I'm going to give Can You Ever Forgive Me a 9 out of 10. There you go, guys. Those are my thoughts on Can You Ever Forgive Me? But I do want to know, what do you guys think of this film? Do you guys think Melissa McCarthy and Richard E. Grant should be getting some Oscar nominations for their work here? And of course, my quick question for you guys today is, what is your favorite performance from a comedic actor or actress who went serious? I'm talking about your Steve Carell's, your Jim Carrey's, your Robin Williams. Whatever you think, be sure to let me know in the comment section below. If you guys do like my content, please don't forget to click that subscribe button. And if you do want to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, or Stardust, all that info is in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. For more things related to movies, TV, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Hearfield, and I'll see you next time.